Testing, 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 testing. I'm good?
Hi, I'm Raymond Bynoe, off spinner, Pickwick Cricket Club, and combined campuses and colleges cricketer.
I'm Hayley Matthews, off spin bowler and opening bat, and I play for Barbados and West Indies women's team.
So I'm an off spin bowler. My strength is bowling in new ball, and that's something that I perfected over the years. It wasn't easy at first, but after a while I got very comfortable, and I wouldn't say master it because you gotta always keep working at your game and stuff, but that brings me a lot of success in local cricket and club cricket around the world, any places that I played before. One of the reasons behind my success in club cricket and bowling in the ball, I don't let it overpass without communicating with the wicketkeeper. And luckily for me, my wicketkeeper is amazing batsman, Shea Hope. So Shea Hope is able to give me little pointers and stuff, tell me the weaknesses of the batsman, so that the next over will know where to put the ball. And as a spinner, I think you have to try to make the batsman hit the ball where you want him to hit the ball. So by saying that, another thing that brings success for me, I put the best fielders in those areas. So for example, on Pickwick's team, we have Carl Hope, and we've got Christ St. Hill, who are exceptional fielders. So most batsmen tend to hit the ball to extra cover and sharp mid-wicket off of it. So those are the faster guys on the team. So even when the batsman play attacking shot, Carl gonna stop. They'll even stop the ball. So you might save 3 runs or even 4. So that helps me a lot. So I would say having a good relationship with the wicketkeeper and having the best fielders in the correct places, that helps me with my success.
Well, I guess me being an off-break bowler as well, also picking up your role a lot as an opening bowler too. I think you were actually very spot on about what helps an off-break bowler. I reckon just being able to bowl to your field is very important. I think also being very situation aware, especially when playing T20 cricket, especially after you've bowled 3 or 4 good balls and your batsman then under pressure, I think that's where you have to try to stay on top. And just then, like you were saying, bowl to your field, bowl to where your best fielders are, just try to get that single and finish off a good over rather than, I guess, being greedy and looking for something extra. I think that's what helps me the most, and the fact that I can be consistent with my lanes and be able to control where I'm bowling.
For me, playing T20 cricket is the hardest because you could be bowling amazing in the nets, but then when you come in the game now, those same good lines, batsmen are braver in T20 cricket. It's amazing how they don't bat that way in 50 over cricket, but at least at the club level. T20 cricket, that brings a lot of success for me because I find guys here in the Caribbean, you just try to attack every single ball, and rotation of the strike is something that we lack here. I would say 50 over cricket, that's my favorite form. In 50 over cricket, I think I prefer to bowl in the middle overs. I like to come after the seamers and kind of pull back the team, or even if you on my team our best, sometimes it gives us a good start. So I like to follow up with that. I'm a very consistent bowler, so not much bad balls gonna come, and that's something that batsmen don't really like. Guys like to know, okay, well, Hayley gonna give me 2 bad balls, it's over. But I like to keep the pressure on. And in 50 over cricket, another thing too, Cal Hope as my captain, he uses me in pressure situations. So I guess I'm one bowler that you can count on to come and do the job. So I like that. In the longer format, I would say I'm still learning because playing a lot of limited overs, I got so accustomed to doing that. But there are a lot of different variables in the longer format. You got different sessions. The ball gets a lot older and stuff. And then there's different field setting. In the longer format, you try to get the batsman out rather in the limited overs. Like bowling dot balls is like success as well. You know, that's something that I'm working on to actually try to work out batsmen and get them out. But the longer format is definitely very challenging, and every day I'm trying to improve myself because personally I would love to go on to play all forms of the game.
Well, I'm gonna hop straight onto the T20 part. Following up what you said about opening the bowling, especially in T20 cricket where people come really hard at you. I actually find in women's cricket it could be the complete opposite. Like we were talking about earlier, women aren't as physically strong as men, and therefore, I guess, you don't find many women that can come from ball one and clear the boundary. So I actually find a lot of the time, but mostly depending on what team you play as an opening bowler or as an opening spinner, especially in T20 cricket, you could get away with just bowling a consistent line really because a lot of the batters just look to get themselves in. But then you could also butt teams. I always give an example of like New Zealand that have so many power hitters at the top of their order where you know for certain they're going to come out just guns blazing straight up, and that's I think when you really challenge yourself and I guess see how well you handle pressure. I mean at the same time that you were saying you could be bowling good balls and still be getting a bit of stick, but I guess that's all a part of the game and that's where you learn the game best I guess. Going on to 50 over cricket now, I also sometimes open in 50 over cricket, but like you were saying as well, I mostly like to bowl in middle overs. I guess that's where the cricket is most calm. Batters just looking to rotate, strike a lot of the time, and then you're sometimes able to pick up wickets as well with better deliveries. You don't really find batters coming at you as hard, and then you also have a lot of fielders out on the boundary at times. So I reckon it does become a bit easier in those middle overs. But my captain for West Indies actually calls on me in pressure situations as well. So I guess in the power play in 50 over cricket, even towards the end, I would come on a lot of the time, and I kind of like that pressure. I think it helps me to bowl a bit better as well.
When I bowl at attacking batsman, obviously you gotta drive back the length. Well, it all depends on the wicket as well. Because if you're playing on a pretty decent wicket where the ball is coming on, I just pull back the length. Especially bowling to a taller batsman, that's another adjustment, something you gotta make. Me personally, my natural length is bowling back of the length, so I struggle bowling to shorter batsmen. So my natural ways of dismissal go out to play because the shorter batsmen, could just play me off with the back foot. I find they're able to rotate the strike a lot better. With the taller batsmen, a lot of them try to just bounce forward at first. So from there, it's kind of hard to make that adjustment. I like bowling at guys who are attacking because I like a challenge. That's one thing about me. I'm not afraid to get hit for six. I think as a spinner, that's gonna happen. Yeah, majority of the time. So I don't show up the cricket, not expecting to get hit. Yeah, I like the challenge. I don't think any bowler should really want to bowl at a guy who's just gonna block all day. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a competition, so you want a challenge.
Well, I find when I'm bowling at batters that are really looking to come hard, I try to vary my pace as much as possible. Also, kind of mix up my length too. Especially in T20 cricket, I try not to be too predictable. I find the more you bowl the same ball over and over the same pace, the batsmen get more and more used to it, and it become easier for them. So I try to change it up as much as possible and not let them get too used to it. I also try to vary my length as well. A lot of time in women's cricket, you see batters predominantly go leg side a lot. So I like to vary my line as well. Um, Also, just pulling back the length and pushing it forward as a lot of time.
Using the crease.
Yeah. A lot of time also women like to premeditate chipping. So you also see it early a lot of time, and I guess that's when you really have to be situation aware. Once again, being able to look for those things and know when to pull it back and know when to go full, I guess.
Yeah, and for some batsmen, you might bowl around the wicket because they might struggle with that angle.
Yeah.
So it all depends on the batsman.
Like I was saying also in this cricket, how a lot of people are leg side dominant. You find a lot of women tend to slog sweep from just outside off. So a lot of time when I find batters like that, my best option is to then come around the wicket and just keep them a bit tucked up. So I guess it's just different things like that. Knowing your batsman and being able to look at the situation from early and being able to adjust there.
Well, there have been times where I've been struck for, say, 18 plus and over. At that point in time, I try to slow down the game. Maybe you're going to discuss with the same wicket keeper or the captain. In those times, you might look at where the batsman's hitting the ball. You try to adjust the feel. As Hayley said, maybe you probably got struck for 360 because you were bowling the same pace. So you try to bring the different angles and variations into play. But like I said, that's something that is going to happen in cricket, especially as a spinner, and you shouldn't let that bring you down. Sometimes, even if you are struck for 24 and over, you ask the captain, so let me go again. Come. As a spinner, you gotta want that challenge. You can't come every day expecting to, not go for a boundary.
I guess for me, a lot of time when people coming at you very hard, obviously, like I was saying in women's cricket, a lot of time is that you're bowling bad balls. But I think that's when you need to, myself, that's when I kind of need to go back to what I know. When I'm in the nets practicing a lot of time, I practice for death bowling because that's where I bowl very often. So I kind of just set a field and look to bowl to it, even if I have to put 4 people on my legs, side boundary, and just bowl straight in at your pads, even if it's not the best length that I'm worrying about. It's kind of just protecting your boundary as much as possible after that stage and trying to say, okay, look, what I've got to hit for so however much in the over already. Right now, I just trying to minimize until the end of the over, and if anything, have a discussion after and slow down the game and then come back next over. So I just think it's about keeping control, not panicking when those situations come about.
Body language.
Yeah, exactly. And then getting through the over as best as possible, and then if the case may be, go and have a chat and then come back fresh again, not worrying about what happened last over.
Sometimes in 50 over cricket, you might have a situation where, as a bowler, you might not feel comfortable bowling to a certain type of batsman. So what is very common sometimes, you would give that batsman the single, especially in the power play. Like usually most teams have like a real power hitter and then maybe a guy who looking to rotate the strike. So you take out maybe the mid-wicket, have their open, go straight at the guy, let him get the single, and then try to squeeze the other batsman.
Well, I find a lot of time in 50 over cricket especially, I guess early on you really looking to attack, try to get some early wickets out there. Obviously in 50 over cricket you don't like batters getting too settled, and I think that's where you really need to have your attacking fields and also your bowling attacking lines and lengths well. Then when it comes to the middle overs, when batters are already settled, I think that's when you need to be a bit more defensive and just accept that you're not going to be able to bowl a dot ball every single ball, and just be able to work with your field and accept the singles, and just try to work as hard for there more so to be singles rather than boundaries, and just being able to contain as best as possible. So I find all over the world now, actually, you find so many wickets that are batter friendly, not holding too much strain. And I reckon actually now the Caribbean is probably the best place where you get your most turn as a spinner. When you play in places like Australia and England, where those wickets are just flat and straight, I think that's where you really need to focus on the pace you bowl at, also the line you bowl, because you're not going to have much spin to help you out there. So I think that's when you need to be able to bowl a lot straighter and more depend on where you're pitching the ball than what the ball is doing after it's pitched. Well, when you're playing in places like the Caribbean or even Sri Lanka and India, you could then be able to try a bit more, I guess start the ball a bit wide as an off-break bowler, certain things like that. So I think it's just getting used to the conditions and knowing exactly how each wicket is going to play.
Yeah, so my advice to you is, keep working on your bowling. That's what's going well for you. You can never do enough. Yeah, keep pushing. And I know you just became the #1 T20 female bowler in the world. Congrats to you. Just try to maintain that spot. I believe that you could do it. And the whole Caribbean backing, Raymond Bynoe backing. So yeah, keep working hard, because like you were saying, some of the other teams behind in terms of like power hitting and stuff, but don't feel as though that you're gonna be like that 10 years from now. So keep adding to your game, and and all the success will come to you.
I guess my advice to you also is just to keep working. Obviously, through the last couple of years, you've been one of the best bowlers in Barbados club cricket. Then were able to play for CCC last year. So I mean, you obviously progressing every year, and obviously the work that you're putting in out there finally starting to pay off. And I mean, you're still young, so you have so many more years to go. And I mean, if you could just keep working hard and get to play for Barbados after a while, move on to West Indies. And I mean, I don't doubt that anyone here thinks that you can do it. We all know that you can. So I mean, it's just to keep putting in the work. Like you were saying, you can never do enough.